Hi everyone, it's Lynnea for LDRS Creative. Today we're going to be looking at the Cherry Blossom dies. This is a layering die set, and if you know LDRS Creative, you know that they make some fabulous floral layering dies, and this Cherry Blossom die set is no exception. So I've gone ahead and I've die cut all the pieces I need to create some pink flowers, and I'm going to show you how to assemble these Cherry Blossom dies. Now remember, if you ever get stuck and you don't have access to this video, check out the back of the packaging from your Cherry Blossom dies. That will show you how these pieces layer up, and it'll show you a finished design of these dies all put together. One of the things that I like to do when I'm assembling layering dies like this is to look for points that I see are going to line up. So the second layer of this large flower has that little curvy edge on one of the petals, and so I know to look for that curvy edge and line it up with one of the petals, and then the rest of them is going to fall into place. There are also etch lines on these dies, and so you know that the layers are not going to cover up those etch lines. They just kind of accent and curve around each other, so that's another good way to look at these. There are these fun little centers that I cut from white to kind of be a little pop in the center. You can use one, you can use two, you can layer up 3 or 4 of them if you want to. I ended up just going with one right in the center of my flower. There is also a little cherry blossom bud, and this just has a couple of layers. This one is quite easy to assemble. Not that the larger flower isn't, but this way will really only go together one way, so there's no twisting or turning really necessary here. Again, I just cut this from a few different shades of pink colored cardstock, same colors as I did for my larger flower, but you can mix it up and do any color that you want. And I just layer these together to create a cute little cherry blossom bud. There are also a couple of stems in this die set that you can use, and they layer together quite easily as well. I'm just using little tiny dots of liquid adhesive, and I'm going to adhere these two pieces together. You don't have to follow this rule. You can of course use any colors that you want, but I tend to have my lighter colors on the bottom and my darker colors on top. So you'll see that for all my greenery, I have the base color cut out of a light green, and the layering is cut out of a dark green. Same thing with my flowers. I start with the lightest color and work my way up towards darker colors. I find that tweezers help when I'm assembling these dies, but most of these pieces are large enough that you can just use your fingers if you want to. Alright, now let's go ahead and start assembling my card. I'm going to be using a die cut sentiment from the Large Word Spring Sentiments dies. I wanted to show you what these look like all cut out. Each sentiment, there are 4 sentiments, and each one has 2 separate pieces. There's one for the actual sentiment and then a shadow piece as well. I'm bringing in a blue rectangle background that I have cut from the Delicate Stitches scalloped rectangle dies, and I added some strips together. These are just 1/2-inch strips of colored cardstock for a pop of color, and I cut them with that same large rectangle die so that they will kind of look like a little accent at the bottom of my design. Now I'm just going to play around. I've added another one of those cherry blossom buds onto my card, and I've arranged them with some leaves, and then I picked all of that up with a piece of press and seal. You can see the back here looks super messy. Don't worry, nobody is going to see that. That's where I'm going to add all of my adhesive and stick all of these pieces together using my foam tape. So I kind of picked up all of my pieces all at once, sort of like a sticker, and then I'm going to add all of that foam adhesive behind those flower pieces and figure out where I want my sentiment and just adhere everything together. One of the most fun things about these dies is playing around and figuring out where you want your sentiments and all your pieces to go. This is my finished card. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this quick and easy project using the Cherry Blossom layering dies. I'll see you soon. Bye!